Hello everybody, welcome to this instruction video. In this video I'd like to show you part 6 of the Elements Crochet Along designed by Sandra from Hooks and Yarn. For part 6 we're going to be turning the circle that we made in part 5 back into a square. That's what we're doing in part 6, or at least we're making a start on that. We're going to be just repeating the texture detail that's a very characteristic for elements, and we're also going to be adding decorative bubbles in the center. So that's what I'm doing in this part with you. I'm using a 4mm crochet hook in combination with Scheepjes stone washed yarn. So I'll take you step by step through the rows that make up part 6. So thank you for watching and I hope it's a useful video for you. Round 44. In this round we're going to start squaring up the circle we have at the moment. I'm going to start with a standing double crochet as the first granny corner. If you look here at the arc, that's where I'm at the moment. The arc, the center of that arc, you've got this front post stitch, and in that front post stitch you've worked 2 single crochets. And in those 2 single crochets we're going to work the granny corner and the treble here. Start with a standing double crochet in the first of those 2 single crochets. To yarn over, then hold on to that. Then in the first of those 2 singles, make a standing double crochet. That's my first stitch. Now around the front post, make a front post treble. So that's twice over. I'm just going to fold my work in a bit. It's twice over. Then come down and around that front post, hook up and complete the treble. Again, giving that treble room to breathe, just like we've done before. Now in this same single crochet, but on the other side, I'm going to do another double crochet. So in that same stitch, work a double crochet. This is the first half of the corner. Chain 2. And now we do the same in the next single crochet. That's the second half of the corner. I'm going to work a double crochet in the next single. Twice over for the treble, but we're also going to work around the front post stitches. I'm just going to fold my work. I'm just going to work it in front of the treble. And then work another double crochet in that same single. And this is your new granny corner stitch made. So you've made a double, treble, a double, chain 2, and then again a double, treble, double. Going to skip the next stitch and then work, if I get my yarn, then work 20 half double crochets. So I'm going to skip the next stitch, that's that one. I'm going to skip that stitch and go to the next, which is the first of 20 half doubles. That's 1, 2, there we go, 3, continue until you have 20, 19 and 20 half doubles. That's the corner we started, skipping a stitch and then 20 half doubles. Going to continue and work 36 single crochets. That's again a whole series of stitches. It's 36 singles. That's 2, 3, 4, and continue until you have 36 of these single crochets. 35, and this is 36. 36 single crochets. It brings you roughly to the start of your next arc. I've just finished, this used to be an old corner, and these 36 kind of bring you way behind that, past that corner and onto the start here at the bottom where there used to be an arc. I'm going to make 20 half doubles to match what's on the other side. 20 half doubles. It's 1, 2, 3, and continue until you have 20. $19 and $20. At this point you're back almost where we started. You see here's a treble that's been worked in an arc, so here's my arc down here, and we're now going to work a new corner, exactly the same as the corner we started with. Going to skip the next stitch, that's going to be that one, and then you have here 2 single crochets that you worked in a treble, and those 2 single crochets in that front post stitch we're going to work a new corner on. So we're going to skip this stitch, that's that one, I'm going to skip that. Then in the first of the 2 single crochets work a double. Followed by a treble around that front post. And another double crochet here in that same stitch. Chain 2. In the next single crochet, work a double. Twice over, another front post treble around that front post, kind of stacking them on top of one another, and then a double crochet in the same stitch. There we go. And this corner is exactly the same as the corner we made when we started on that one. I'm now going to skip a stitch, work 20 half doubles, 36 singles, 20 half doubles, and that will bring me back here again. So repeat this 3 more times. Now your last repeat you're going to skip the corner because you already worked that, and then you're going to work your last half double, skip that stitch, and then close on your first stitch with a slip stitch. Round 45, I'm just going to move with a slip stitch to the chain 2 corner space. So from that standing double crochet where we're closed with a slip stitch, I'm just going to move 3 positions like so. And now we can work a corner, so a new corner. So this is already our corner, so work a new one in there. To start with the chain 3. 2, 3. This is my first double crochet of the corner. You can also do a standing double here if you prefer. I'm going to work a treble, so same like here, but this time you're going to squish it in here. If you look at these 2 single crochets, that first one around the post of that first one, going to work the treble. So you see those 2 singles, that first one, twice over, then around there, work a front post treble. So that's the first of those 2 single crochets on which we made the corner in the previous round. That's a treble. Then come back up to the chain space and work a double crochet. Chain 2 and another double crochet in the chain space. Now we're going to come down and around that same stitch work another treble. Just going to come down just around that stitch, kind of stack these 2 on top of one another. Treble, and then complete the corner with a double crochet in the chain 2 space at the top. So that's our corner made. Now go on the first edge. For the edge, we're going to first work a granny special. Now you've got this space here from the stitch that you skipped, so in there we're going to work a granny special. Start by working a double crochet in that space. So you're going to skip all of these other stitches that we still have there. So work a granny special in there. Now we're going to work the treble in here. Let me just find another hook so I can really show you. See these stitches, these front post single crochet is going to work the treble in there. Not that first one, but this one, that second one. I'm going to use that one there. I'm going to work my treble in there. Just twice over. And kind of take it from the bottom to the top, because that will give you the best result. And then complete the treble. As you can see, if you fold that back, that you really cover that stitch, but you've actually skipped one stitch there, and then work it in the next, but this one kind of falls over. Another double crochet here to the back to complete the granny special, so in that space there. And there we go. Continuing the edge, we now need to work there we go, a half double in the next 14 stitches. Actually, we're going to skip a stitch, first skip one stitch and then work 14 half doubles. So skip that stitch and then go to the next, and this is the third half double. You see that was 1, 2, 3. Skip that stitch in there, work a half double, and this is the first of 14. It's 2, 3 and 14. 14 half doubles. There's 14. Continue and work 22 single crochets. 22. 2, and after that we'll be doing an increase and then work 22 again. But now work 22 single crochets. 21 and 22 single crochets. The next stitch we're going to work 2 single crochets. To give you an idea where you are, you're roughly above the treble from the old corner that we've made. This was the old corner. So in here you're going to work 2 singles, so this is an increase. 2. So 2 singles in that one stitch, and then on the other side again 22 singles, so 1 on each. 2, 3, 4, and this is the last one. 22 singles. We're almost at the next corner. Going to work 14 half doubles, and that will bring us roughly to the next corner. This is 2, work 14. 3, and this is number 14. 14 half doubles. We're now almost back at the corner where we started this edge. You have 1 stitch left, and then you've got this gap here again. Now we're going to skip that last stitch, and in this gap work a granny special. To yarn over, then in that gap, kind of that natural gap there, work a double crochet. Then the treble, we're just going to come down and work the treble in that stitch. So I push everything to the side. You've got 1 stitch there and then that second one, and this one's kind of being covered by that first treble we already have there. So in that stitch, I'm going to work a treble in there, so twice over, come down and take it from the bottom to the top. That will make your work neater. 1, 2, 3 for the treble. And then in the space work another double crochet. That's your granny special worked. We're going to go to the corner and work another corner, and that corner is going to be the same as the one we started with, but I'll show you the corner also. So we're going to skip all of these stitches, go to the chain 2 space, in there work a double crochet, treble around the first of those 2 singles. You see here, if you just squish everything to the side, you see those are the 2 singles we work the corner in, those 2 singles, and around that first one, around the post of that stitch, work the treble, and again give your stitch some room to breathe, and then work another double crochet in the chain 2 space at the top, chain 2, and repeat again for the other side of the corner. It's a double crochet in the space, twice over. Then around that same stitch work another treble, 2, 3, and work a double crochet in the chain 2 space at the top again. And this corner is exactly the same as this corner here that we started with. So everything we've just done, repeat that on your other 3 edges also. So your next step is going to be a granny special in that space, with coming down that second stitch there to hook up your treble, same as on this side as on that side. Then go all the way around and close on this first stitch, and this for me it's a chain 3 here with a slip stitch. Round 46, new color yarn on my hook, and we're going to start in any corner, and we're going to start with a granny corner. Yarn over, start with a standing double crochet. You're going to come down, and in that chain space there work a treble, just twice over. In that chain space between the double crochets from the previous round, work the treble, and come back up, work a double crochet. That's 1/2 of the corner. Chain 2, and then the other half of the corner is the same. Double crochet, twice over, and next to that first treble in there work a second, and again be sure not to snag the chain 2 space to the back, and finish with a double crochet in the chain 2 space in the top. That's your first corner made. On the straight edge, I'm going to work a granny special in this space and in that one there. In this first space, granny special, so that's a double crochet in there, followed by a front post treble around this treble you already have here, and another double crochet in this space to the back of the treble. Going to continue to the next space, it's this one here. In there work a granny special again. That's a double crochet in this space. The treble we're going to work in the skipped stitch from 2 rows down. So in that stitch that you skipped, work the treble, and then be sure not to snag anything to the back, and then work another double crochet in this space. There we go. We're now going to skip we're going to skip 2 stitches, because you see that stitch there, that half double that's kind of been covered by the granny special. We're going to skip that stitch, and we're going to skip the next, that's this one, and then go there. Then we're going to work the next half double, and that's going to be the first of 10. So it may look like you're skipping only the one, but you're actually skipping 2 stitches, because it's that stitch there, that half double, which is immediately connected to that that double crochet there. So skipping that first half double and the second, and then go to the third there. That's the first of 10. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 half doubles. Continue. Now we're going to work 25 single crochets. And these singles are going to bring you halfway, where we're going to work a bobble stitch, and that's going to be the start of the decorative bobbles that we're going to be working in this part. So work 25 single crochets. Stitch 24, and stitch 25 is going to be in the first of these 2 single crochets. Remember last round you had 2 single crochets that you worked in one. Stitch 25 is in the first of those 2. So now you've got 25 single crochets. In the next stitch, which is going to be the second of those 2, work a bobble stitch, and that's in essence going to be a double crochet 5 together. I'm going to make 5 legs, so yarn over in the next stitch. 1 leg, 2 legs, 3, 4, and 5. You have 6 loops on your hook. Take them all off in one go. Going to continue and work 25 single crochets on the next stitches, and just go to the next stitch. I'm just going to pull my yarn tight, so really to help my bobble to pop forward. I'm just going to work this single crochet tightly. That's just to help that bobble pop forward, because you'll notice that it tends to want to pop backwards, so just help it to come forward. That's 1, 2, 3, continue until you have 25 single crochets again. 25. On the next stitches, 10 half doubles. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and the last one, number 10. 10 half doubles. At that point you'll have 1 stitch left before you'll have a bit of a natural space here again between that last stitch and your first group of granny stitches here. Going to skip that last stitch. We're going to do the granny special in there next time, and then in this space work a granny special again, and we're going to do it similar to the one we've done before. So in that space work the double crochet. You can see how I'm skipping that stitch. Now in the space work the double twice over for the treble. The treble is going to be in that skipped stitch there, and be sure that you don't snag anything else to the back. And work that special, and then come back up and work a double crochet again. Go to the next space, another granny special here, and this one is a normal one. It's a double crochet twice over, then around the treble here work another front post treble, and another double crochet to the back, which brings us to the corner. So skipping all of these stitches, come to the corner, and this is exactly the same corner as we've worked many times before. So it's a double crochet followed by a treble in the chain 2 space 2 rows down, then a double crochet again, chain 2, and then repeat for the other half of the corner. So double crochet in that chain space, being sure not to snag anything, and then another double crochet. There we go. And this corner is of course exactly the same as the corner we started with. So everything we've just done, and also with the bobble here in the middle, everything we've just done, repeat that all the way around. And when you're back here at the start, close on that first stitch with a slip stitch. Round 47, going to start very similar to round 46. I'm going to make a corner and then work 2 specials and then one here in this space also. First we're just going to slip stitch to the chain 2 corner space. If you're using a new color yarn, just attach your yarn in any corner. Then we're at the same point. Chain 3. This is my first double crochet. Twice over, and again that treble in that space there from 2 rows down, and then another double crochet in the top loop. Chain 2, and then the other half of the corner, that's another double crochet in that top space, treble in the loop 2 rows down, and then the double crochet in the top again. And that is your corner made. For the straight edge, the repeat units, going to work granny special in the first space here and that second space. So we're going to skip the stitches in between. In that space, so double crochet, front post treble around the treble that's readily available there, and another double crochet. The same in the next space, double crochet followed by a treble and another double crochet. Might be going a bit faster here because it's very similar to things we've done before. Then in this space here, going to work a double crochet, then in that loop that's really open there, going to work the treble in there, and then work another double. So double crochet, treble there, that one, and another double crochet in that space. I'm going to continue with, after skipping stitches, with 10 half doubles. Again, going to skip a stitch, so we're going to skip this stitch here that's kind of being covered by the corner, but especially this first open one. Going to skip those and then go to that stitch there with the first half double. This is the first of 10. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and this is number 10. Won't surprise you, you're going to work single crochets 21 this time, so 21 singles. 1, 2, 3, and this is number 21. Now you're almost to the bobble. You have a few stitches left. You've got 2 stitches left. In the next stitch we're going to make a bobble. Then in this last single crochet you're going to work a single. You're going to work a front post single around the bobble. Then we're going to skip this little stitch that's immediately after the bobble. Then work a single crochet and then work another bobble. That's what we're going to be doing. So in the next stitch work a bobble. So that's, you've got 2 stitches before the bobbles and that second last stitch. It's 1, 2, 3 legs, 4 and 5. 5 legs, 6 loops on your hook, take them all off in one go. I'm just going to pull this tight and I'm going to work that next single crochet, which is that stitch there. I'm going to work that tight to really help this bobble and pop it forward. That next single crochet there. Because you really want to help this bobble pop forward because it'll have a tendency to want to pop backwards. That was the single crochet. I'm going to work a front post single around the bobble. So this is the bobble here. So that means, so that's the bobble there. I'm going to work a single crochet like that. So this was the top of the single crochet, so this is how you would work a normal single if you just work in the bobble. We're going to work around the bobble, so front post stitch. So it's kind of around the bobble. You see there's the space there. Go around it and come out the other side. Show you again. Just open up that bobble. You see that space there. That to go behind it. Then come out the other side. And then work a single crochet. And just pull everything tight, because this whole process, this front post, is also to help this pop forward even more. You can see this one is popping more than that one because of this front post single that you just made. I'm going to skip the next stitch, which is going to be that little stitch there. I'm going to skip that. It's kind of being hidden by your bobble anyway. So that little stitch, skip that stitch and then go to the next one and work a single crochet in there. And then in the next stitch work a bobble again. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 legs, 6 loops on your hook. Take them all off. Again, I'm just going to pull this tight and work a single crochet in the next stitch. Kind of help this bobble forward, pushing it forward as I do so. That's the first single crochet of, again, 21. So that was 1. This is 2, which I can work a bit more relaxed. You only want that first one tight. This is 3, 4. Continue until you have 21 single crochets. 21 single crochets since the bobble. Almost back to the corner. Need 10 half doubles. 10 of these. And then we can work the granny specials again. Very similar to what we've done before on the other side. Then you've got a corner and then you repeat that all the way around. I need 10 half doubles here. I need a few more. I'm almost there. I believe this is number 10. Let me just check. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 10, yes, 10 half doubles. We're going to skip the next stitch. It's going to be that stitch, and then in this space, kind of this natural opening there, going to work a granny special with the treble going into that stitch there that's available. So we're going to, in this space, work a double crochet twice over for the treble. In that stitch, work the treble, and then come back up in this space and work the double crochet. Got two spaces here in which we're going to work granny special stitches also, and here we're going to work the classic ones. So that's with a double crochet, front post treble around the treble from 2 rows down, then a double crochet in this space. I'm going to do that on both of these. You'll see my rhythm is going up a bit because you've done this many times already, and I'm sure you can do this part without me actually. And then we go to the corner and we work a corner again, which is exactly the same as we've again done many corners in this project, and we still have quite a few corners left to do. We're not by any means finished with corners because we still need to grow a few rounds to get the circle back to a square again. But this was the repeat unit of round 47, because this corner is the same as that corner. So continue on your other 3 edges to exactly the same, and then when you come back after you've done your last granny special here in this space, close on the chain 3 with a slip stitch. Round 48, last round of this part. I have a new color yarn on my hook, and we're going to do a round very similar to the previous rounds. I'm going to start in the corner, in any corner stitch, and you start there with a granny corner. And in the background you'll hear my cat eating. He just opened his electronic food dispenser, because they all, I've got 2 cats and they have different nutritional needs. So I've got 2 of these feeders which react to their chips, and then that opens automatically, etc, etc. Great, by the way, if you have cats that, or any pet, also small dogs, that eat each other's food, and you have to kind of keep them all separate. It works really, really well. So I can really recommend these electronic feed dispensers that work on the chip that's implanted in their under their skin. Well, this was the corner, exactly the same as the corner you've done before. So on the straight edge, we're going to come down and work a granny special in these 3 spaces here, and then here we're going to start a new one, exactly the same way we've done before, by working the treble in that space there, that stitch that's readily available. We're going to come down and work 3 granny specials here. So in the first one, work a double crochet twice over, and then work the treble where it's readily available, and work another double crochet in this same space. Do so in the second also, twice over, and then work the treble and come back up and work the double. And then the third time work the double and the treble, and another double crochet. You've now got 3 granny specials. Just turn everything a bit because my blanket is really growing in size. I'm going to start a new granny special group. So I'm going to skip these 3 stitches here. then go to that next space that you kind of have there, work a double crochet, then work a treble in that stitch that you can see there, work that treble, and then work another double crochet in this space. So you now have 4 of these groups and the corner. We're going to again work a series of half doubles, going to skip stitch. We're going to skip and the first half double here and that one and go to the 3rd stitch. So remember that stitch that's it's kind of being covered by these half doubles, so you don't see that very easily. Then that stitch and then go there. You're going to work a half double, which is the first of 10. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is 9 and 10. 10 half doubles. And we're going to follow with 17 single crochets. It's 1, 2, continue until you have 17 of these. And this is number 17. I now have 17 single crochets. Going to work a bobble again. You've got 2 stitches left. In that second last stitch, going to work a bobble, exactly the same way we've done before. So that's in essence a double crochet 5 together, worked in the same stitch. There's 3 legs, 4 legs, 5 legs, 6 loops on your hook. Take them all off in one go. On the next stitch we work a single crochet, and I'm going to work this tight, so I'm pulling that fast, and while I'm working the single crochet I'm kind of making sure my bobble pops forward, because it will have the tendency to want to pop backwards. So then in that next single stitch work a single crochet. You're kind of securing your bobble in the process. A front post single around the next bobble. So again, behind the bobble, then come out the other side. See there, around the bobble, and then work a front post single. And this will also help your bobble to pop forward. There you go, a front post single crochet. Then a single crochet in the next 3 stitches. And be mindful, there's the first, second, third. So the first is a single, the second is a front post single that you worked around the bobble, and the third is again in a single crochet. Going to work 1, 2, 3 singles. And now again a front post around this bobble. So go. Just open up here below, around the stitch, and then come out the other side, and then pull everything tight as you make that single crochet. There you go. So you can see how this really helps to push your bobbles forward. Again, a single crochet in the next stitch, and that's again going to be a little bit hidden. And that stitch there is kind of being hidden by your bobble. And in the next, again, a bobble stitch. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 legs, and take them all off. Single crochet, going to skip a stitch and then a single crochet in the next 17 stitches. So skipping this stitch is kind of going to be hard because I want to keep it tight. So there's the next stitch, going to skip that stitch and then go to the next. You see your bobble will kind of want to fall backwards, so just kind of help it forward. So that's 1, 2, you see I've skipped that stitch there, and now I've worked 2 singles and work 15 more because you want 17 in total. So you have 17 single crochets. That's 17 single crochets and then followed by 10 half doubles on the next stitches. And then you'll get to the corner again where we're going to start with the granny specials exactly the same way we've done before. So we're going to work of what I'll call the first granny special. We work that first treble in the skipped stitch and then work 3 normal ones and then the corner. So I now have 10 half doubles. Move everything again in front of the camera. I'm going to skip the next stitch, then kind of go to this natural space you have there. I'm going to work a double crochet, then a treble. And the treble is in that stitch that you skipped, being sure not to snag anything else to the back. And then work another double crochet in the space. The next space, I'm going to work a regular granny special. I'm going to work 3 of these. And you're going to skip all the stitches that are in between. So you're going to skip those next 3 stitches and then go to the space. There's not so much a chain 1 space, it is just an opening between the stitches. And then the last one here, and then that's, so now you can have 4 of these granny specials and we're up to the corner. We're going to work exactly the same corner as the one we started with. So that's a double crochet in the treble in that space 2 rows down between all the stitches, pushing all your stitches to the side, followed by another double crochet, chain 2, another double crochet, opening up to work the treble, and then the last double. And that is your corner made, and this corner is exactly the same as your starting corner. And there, do everything you just did, also here in the center with the bobbles, do everything you just did all the way around, and you get to the first stitch, close with a slip stitch. I'm going to leave my yarn attached because for next week I'm going to be using the same color yarn. If you're going to be changing colors, then cut your yarn. And when you've completed that last round, this is what your work looks like. You've got the bobbles here and you've got the corner that you're starting. I might work bobbles quite a bit, but I'm not concerned about them. I'm just going to leave it, and when it becomes bigger, I'll block it again when it's good and square. So I'm just going to leave this for the moment. Hope it was a useful video for you, and I hope to see you again next time for part 7.